Okay, good afternoon, one and all. I think this voice as well as the screen is visible to you, right? Both are clear. Let me know via chat if you have any problem. Now we are in fourth unit. Already in yesterday's class, we have discussed about what is a file, operations on the file, types of files, and attributes of file, and then file accessing methods. There are three types of file accessing methods. One is a sequential file, and the second one is the sequential access, and the second one is the direct access, and the third one is indexed access. So these are the three types of file accessing methods. I repeat: sequential access method, direct access method, and the third one is the indexed file access method. Okay, in the today's class we are going to discuss about directory structure. Right, this is the directory structure, so we no need to use a ppt. Directly we'll go to the paint. Right, so what is a directory? So what for a directory? So what for directory? Directory is used to organize the files, right? That means a directory is a collection of files. Okay. So what for directory? Directory is to organize the files, and it is a collection of files. Then what is a file? I already told you, file is a collection of records. And next what you need to know, so this is about directory, and the next what you need to know is what are the directory structures available. Mainly we have four types of directory structures. The first one is single level directory structure. And the second one is the two level directory structure. And the third one is three level directory structure. It is also called as hierarchical directory structure. And the last one is a acyclic graph directory structure. So these are the four varieties of directory structures available. First, what is a directory? Directory is a collection of files. It is for organizing the files. And these are the four varieties of directory structures: single level, two level, three level directory structure, and the fourth one is acyclic graph directory structure. So let me explain one after the other. The first one is a single level directory. The first variety of directory structure is single level directory structure. So what is for single level directory structure? What is the meaning of the single level? Single level means there is only one root directory. That means for all the users there is only one directory. So that is the reason why it is called as a single level. There is only one level of directory, and it is obviously the root directory. So everyone and all the users, user 1, user 2, spawn, user n, all the users need to maintain their files here in the same root directory. Okay, that means here it is a file 1, and it is a file 2, and this is a file 3, swan, file n maybe, right? All the files are under only one main directory. Okay, so for example the directory name may be A, so all the remaining files, okay, are available in the root directory. For example, user 1, file 1, file 2 is of user 2, and file 3 is of user 3, like that user n file is a file n. That means for all the users there is only one directory. Anyone willing to store the file, they need to store the files in only one directory. Okay, that is the reason why it is called as single level directory. If we observe here, we need to use a square for representing directory. Circle is for representing the file. Okay, sorry. So sorry. So we observe here the directory is represented with a square and the file is represented with a circle. Okay. Then what are the advantages of single level directory? Disadvantage of single level directory. Okay. First we need to talk about the advantages. So there is only one directory and all the users are using that directory. So it is very simple to use, right? And then what about the disadvantage of single level directory? The disadvantage is, the first disadvantage is a naming problem. What is naming problem? Naming problem means, for example, user 1 has a one file called sample. User 2 is also willing to keep the file name as sample. So what happened? User 1 file name is also sample. User 2 file name is also sample. If both are willing to use the same file name, then automatically what will happen? This user 1 sample will be overwrite by user 2 sample. What happened? User 1 file called sample will be overwritten by user 2 sample. Okay, why? Because in the same directory we cannot make two file names, two files with the same name. So let me check. Okay, for example, this is a directory. So this is a directory. For example, in this particular directory we have a number of files and folders. So what I would like to do is, here I would like to create one file. What is a file? I want to create a file called, file folder called sample, right? Again, I would like to create another one in the same directory with the same name, sample. See the error? So it indicates that confirm folder replace. This destination already contains a folder name sample. So do you want to match, or do you want to replace the old one with the new one? Like that, it asks the question. No. Then automatically mm, we cannot create two files with the same name. The first file is a sample, and I try to make the second file as a sample with a sample name, but I could not make it possible. Why? Because in the same directory, we cannot create two files with the same name. So that is the first problem called as a naming problem. Okay. So that is called as a naming problem. That means why? Because here for all the users there is only one directory. So user one is a file one, want to create a file one, and he want to store it in the directory. User two also want to store his file one in the directory. It cannot possible. Why? Because file one is already there. So F1 is already there. So we cannot make it possible under the same directory. So that is called as a naming problem. And the next, what is the second problem? Grouping problem. Grouping problem means, for example, if you want to uh, keep all your C programs in one folder, and you want to keep all your Java programs into one folder, and you want to keep all your photographs into one folder. So for that, what you require? So we need to divide them based upon the types. So all the C programs you want to keep in one folder, all the Java programs you need to keep in one directory, and all the what is called all your photographs you need to keep it one place. So but it is not possible here. Why? Because all the users are using only one directory. So grouping is not possible for the individual user. So that is the problem in single level directory. I repeat, in the single level directory we have only one directory, and all the users need to use the same directory to keep their files. So all these are the files of different users. Okay. What is the advantage? Simple. What is the disadvantage? Naming problem. That means user 1 and user 2 or user 3, any user, two different users cannot um, use the same file names for their files, for their files. That is the problem. And next, what is the grouping problem? So we cannot combine multiple files based upon their type, and we cannot keep it in a separate location. Why? Because all are using one directory. So that is another problem. Okay. And the next one, the second one, two level directory. So what is two level directory? As the name indicates, the first directory is called as a root directory, maybe A for example, and all users have their own directories. This is user 1 directory, and this is user 2 directory, and this is user 3 directory, right? So user 1 can keep his files in his own directory, and user 2 can maintain his file in his directory, and user 3 can maintain files in his directory. That means every user have his own directory, right? So that is about a two level directory. Why it is called as two level directory? This is the first level having the root directory, and this is the second level. So this is the first level, and this is the second level. So two level of directories we have. This is the root directory, and these are the users directories. Okay, and this is files, leaf, right? So that is about two level directory. So what are the advantages of two level directory? The advantage of two level directory is there is no naming problem. Why there is no naming problem? For example, user 1 is willing to keep the file names as a file 1 and file 2. User 2 is also want to use the same name. He can use. Why? Because here the F1 is under the user 2 directory. and here the F1 is in the user 1 directory. So there is no conflict happened here. Okay. So let me show you the same with an example. For example, here we have a two folders. One is a sample and the second one is a new folder. I want to go inside the sample and there I want to make one file with the name file 1. File 1. Yes, I made it. And then I would like to create, where is a new folder? New folder here. Here I would like to create another folder. Same file name, file 1. Yes, I created. That means if you go for a sample, file 1 is available. And if you go to new folder, file 1 is available. Okay, that means different folders can have the same file name. So here each and every user has its own directory. When every user has its own directory, then they can use the same file names. So there is no naming problem. But it is not possible in the case of single level directory. Why? Because in the single level directory there is only one directory and all the users need to maintain their files in only one directory. So in the one directory we cannot use same names for the files. But whereas in the case of here in the two level directory, each and every user has its own directory so that they can use the same file names for their files. So no naming problem. And next, what is the disadvantage of a two level? The disadvantage of two level is here we cannot group. Subdirectories are not there, no? We cannot group. So grouping problem is there. And there is one more advantages of using a two level directory, that is called as efficient search. It is very difficult to search the files in the single level directory. I forgot to tell about that one when we discussed about single level directory. So if it is a single level directory, all the files are available in only one directory. So if you want to search for a file, it is very time taking process to search for a file of a particular user. But in the case of two level directory, if you observe here, I want to search a file to of user 1. So directly I need to go to this particular portion and I will search here. If I want to search for the file of a user 3, directly I need to go to this location and I will search here under this directory. Right? For every user there is a directory. So directly whenever I want to search for a file, directly I will move to that particular user's directory and I search there. So searching is easy in the case of two level directory. But whereas in the case of single level directory, under the one directory all the files are available and all user files are available in only under one directory. So automatically whenever I want to search for a particular user's file, I need to check each and every file whether it is required file or not. I need to search every file. But in the case of two level directory, whenever the user want to search for a file, directly the particular user went to that particular location and search. For example, user 2 want to search for a file 10. File 10. So directly where we need to search, we no need to search in users 1 directory and we no need to go for user 3 directory. Why? Because user 2 is willing to search for a file in his directory. So automatically directly he will go to this directory and he will search there for the file 10, F10. Okay. So searching is easy in the case of two level directory. It is difficult in the case of single level directory. Okay. The advantages of two level directory is no naming problem. That means two different users can use the same file name. And next, grouping problem. Grouping problem means a similar type of files cannot be grouped into one category. So that is the problem in two level directory. For that we need to go to next type of directory structure. So what is the third directory structure? Tree directory structure, or it is also called as hierarchical directory structure, right? So what is a tree directory structure? As the name indicates, it is the root directory. Under the root directory, again, each and every user has its own directories. That means user 1 directory, user 2 directory, and user 3 directory. And under the user 1, again, we may have a separate directory, subdirectories. These are called as subdirectories. And again, under the A, you may have a subdirectory. Directly it has a file, file1, and it is a file2, and maybe file3, file4, and then here another subdirectory. Again, these subdirectories may have files, file5, and here we have a file6. So like that, we can maintain any number of levels. So if you observe here, this is the root level. I mean first level. And this is the second level. And observe here, this is the third level. And this is the fourth level. Like that, we can go for any number of levels. That is the reason why it is called a tree directory structure. So here, this is called as a root directory. And then all the users have their own directories under the root directory. This is the user 1 directory. Under the user directory, A and B are the subdirectories. Again, A has E. That means E is a subdirectory of A. Again, here F is a subdirectory under D. Like that, the directories can have the subdirectories. Okay. What is the use of these subdirectories? So, for example, I want to group the files C and Java files. C files under the C and Java files under the Java folder. So what I need to do? So for example, if you want to keep like that, so what can I do? What can I do? Observe here. Earlier in the case of two-level directory and the single-level directory, we cannot make the subdirectories. Right? But here, in the case of three-level directory, we can make the subdirectories. So observe here, PROG, program directory under the user 3. Under the programs, I may have a C programs and I may have the Java programs. Right? So under the C programs, I will keep sum.c, prime.c programs. Under the Java, hello.java. Like that, I can keep all the Java programs under the Java folder, subdirectory, and I can keep all the C programs under the C directory. So this is the advantage of tree directory structure. So earlier we cannot make the subdirectories. Okay. So that is the advantage of tree directory. What is the advantage? The advantage is no grouping problem. Grouping problem solved here. Why? Because here we can make subdirectories. We can make subdirectories under a directory. So here observe here user 3. In the user 3 there is one directory called programs. Under the programs again there are two directories. One is a C directory and the second one is a Java directory. C and Java are the subdirectories under the prog directory. So C has all the C files and the Java directory subdirectory have all the Java files. It may be hello.java and it may be first.java. Like that, all the Java files are under Java directory and all the C files are under C directory. So that is the advantage of tree directory. Then what is the disadvantage of tree directory? Right? What is the disadvantage? The disadvantage is cannot share files among the users. That means user one files cannot be shareable to user two, and user two files cannot be shared cannot share it to the user three. Okay, all the files are individual files and we cannot share the files among the users. So that is a disadvantage of tree directory structure. How can we overcome the tree directory structure? So that we need to go for the fourth variety. So that is called as acyclic tree directory structure. Sorry, acyclic graph directory structure. Right, what is acyclic graph directory structure? As the name indicates, the first one is the root directory. It may be a root directory. Is the root directory. For example, it is a. Under the root directory, we have different directories for different users. User one directory and it is user two directory, and this is the user three directory. Right? So user one has a file one and user two have the subdirectories, maybe B, and the user 2 have another subdirectory C, and user 3 have a subdirectory D. Under it has F2, and next under this we have F3, and here we have maybe F4. So we observe here the F3 file is shareable to both user 2 and user 3. Both are using the same file, file 3. Okay, that is possible in the case of acyclic graph directory. That means in the case of tree structure, directory structure, there should not be tree should not we cannot use the loops. But here in the case of not loops exactly, in the case of tree we cannot share the files, but whereas in the case of graph we can share the things here. And next, if you observe here, under the user 2 have a subdirectory C, under the user 3 we have a subdirectory D, and next under the C we have only one file F3 and it is shareable to user 3 too. These sharing is not allowed in the case of tree directory structure. That problem is overcome here. So these are the four varieties of acyclic graph directory structures. So do you have any doubts? Let me know. So meanwhile I will go to the PPT. As I told you, a directory contains different types of files. F1, F2, F3, F4 and F5 are the files. So you observe here, this is a disk. The entire disk is divided into two parts here. So no need to worry about what is this, what is a partition A and what is partition B and what is partition C. I cannot understand all these things. Simple. If you are not understanding, let's go to the my computer. If you observe here in the my computer, the entire this is called as a hard disk. The disk is divided into how many number of portions here? The disk is divided into 4 portions. Local disk C, it is one portion, and the D is another portion, E is another portion, and F is one another portion. Right? It is my wish, and I would like to partition the hard disk into 4 different disks. Right? So like that you can divide it into the G. It is your wish. Or you want to go for only C and D. It is your wish. Or you want to go for C, D, E. You want to partition the entire disk into only 3 partitions. Then it is your wish, right? Like that here the disk may be divided into 2 partitions. Partition A and partition B. Under the partition A, you want to maintain one directory and all the files are available in the directory. Under the partition B, you want to create one directory and under directory all the files are available. Or else The entire directory, disk 2 and disk 3, two disks can be used for only maintaining the one directory. It is also possible. Okay. So mainly the directory is for organizing the files. That's it. A disk may have any number of directories. Next, these are the operations of a directory. Yesterday I already told you, we can search for a file and we can create a file, we can delete a file, and we can list the directory, we can rename the file, and we can traverse the file system. Next, as I told you, single level directory. I don't want to confuse you. That is the reason why I want to make my examples for your understanding sake. This is the textbook example. You can go through it now. So if you observe here, there is only one level of directory for all the users. All the users are using only this is a directory and these are the files. So what is the problem? I already told you, naming problem. Two file names should not be the same. If you observe here, this is a cat, boo, a, test, data, mail, cont, hex, records. All these are the names. And no two names are same, right? So we cannot use two names, same names for the two different files. And grouping problem. We cannot divide C programs into one part each part and the Java programs into one part like that. We cannot create. There is only one directory and the second level is files. That is the reason it is called as a single level directory. And the next one, as I told you, two level directory. Two level directory means each and every user has its own directory. User one directory, some files are there, 1, 2, 3, 4 files are there, and under the user two, two files are there, under the user three, two files are there, and under the user four, 1, 2, 3, three files are there. If you observe here, user 1 has a file name called A, and user 2 also have a file name called A, and user 3 also have the file name called A, and user 4 also having a file name called A. That means different users can use the same file name. Different users, user 1, user 2, user 3, user 4. Different users can use the same file name for their files. So there is no problem of naming. Next, efficient searching. Efficient searching means, for example, I want you to search for a file called data in user 2. So directly what you need to do, so you need to go to the particular user and you need to search for the file. Then you want to go and search for a file in user 4 directory. Directly you need to go to user 4 directory and you will search the file under the user 4 directory. You no need to go for the user 1, user 2, user 3 directories. Whenever I ask you to go to the particular location and search for a file, directly you need to go to that particular directory and you can search for a file. We no need to go for the remaining directories. Why? Because in the case of two level directory, we have different directories for the different users. So we no need to go for the remaining directories for searching a file. So efficient searching. But here we cannot group the things. So grouping is not possible here. That means C programs one group and Java programs one group. It is not possible here in the two level directory. So that is a disadvantage of two level directory. And what are the advantages? The advantages are efficient searching and the no naming problem. Disadvantage is a grouping problem. So in order to solve the grouping problem, we need to go for the third directory structure. That is called as pre-structured directory. So what is pre-structured directory? I already told you. So if you observe here, this is the one level and this is the second level and this is the third level and this is the fourth level. So we can have any number of levels here. If you observe here, all the prog is one directory, under it list object spell. So these are the things comes under prog, and copy, under it there is one subdirectory called all. So like that, each and every directory there is a there are subdirectories. For example, here if you observe stat, there is no subdirectories, directly it has a file. But if you observe here in the case of mail, it is having a four parts. Under the four part again there are next level. Like that we can divide the things into any number of levels. We can go for any number of levels. A directory may have a subdirectory, again the subdirectory have another subdirectory, and the directory may have another subdirectory. Like that we can divide the things into different subdirectories. Actually in the previous example I told you, Under the program directory, you can create two different directories. One may be a C program directory, another may be a Java program directory, and the next one is a photos directory. So under the photos, you can keep all the photo files. Under the Java subdirectory, you can keep all your Java programs. Under the C directory, you can keep all the C programs. So that is the advantage of tree-structured directory. So what is the disadvantage? There is no sharing possible in the tree-structured directory. So in order to avoid such a problem, we need to go for so all these things are not necessary for you. So you already know very basic syntax for making a directory. mkdir space count. That means in order to create a directory. In order to remove a file, rm space file name. Remove file name. If you want to make a directory, mkdir space directory name. So mkdir is for make a directory. Dir name means count here. Count means directory. Okay, under the mail you want to create, so mail is a main directory. Under this you want to create all these things: mkdir space prog, mkdir space copy, mkdir space prt, mkdir space exp, mkdir space count. Likewise, you can create any number of directories under one directory by using mkdir. Okay, in order to remove the directory, you need to use a command called rmdir. Rmdir means remove directory, for removing a directory. Mkdir means for make a directory. Okay. And next, as I told you, so in the case of acyclic graph directs, sharing is possible. So here, if you observe, the same file is share among the users. There are two different things, dict and spell. So both are using the same file. That means two directories sharing the same files. That is the this is the general graph. So here is also sharing this one, and these two directories are sharing the same one. These two are sharing the same one. So like that, here the cycle is also there. If you observe here, it is not acyclic. Cyclic this one. Acyclic means there should be no loops. That's it. That is about the directory structure. And let me talk about file mounting. The next topic is a file mounting. So do you have any doubts? Let me know. If you're not saying anything, I would like to go to the next topic. As I told you earlier, if you have any doubts, let me know via the WhatsApp message. And the next topic is file mounting. So what is a mounting? What is mounting? Mounting is nothing but attaching files into the file system. What is mounting? Mounting is a mount. Nothing but attach the files to the file system. So that is called as mount. So what is a mount point? You need to know all these are the basic things before you are going to learn file mounting. What is a mount point? Location where we attach the files. Okay? So where we attach the files to the file system, that particular location is called as a mount point. So what is mount? Mount is nothing but attach the files into the file system. What is unmount? Unmount is nothing but detaching. Detach. So mount is attach and unmount is called as detach. To detach the files from file system. Right? So what for we are mounting? So what is the purpose of file mounting? Okay. So what is a file mounting? So file mounting is nothing but file mounting is a process by using it operating system, that means OS, makes files and directories available at specific path. That means because of file mounting, we can um, make all the files and directories available at one specific path or one specific location. So let me explain you with the example so that it will be clear for you. Right? For example, there is an existing file system. One file system is there, it is look like this. So what is the existing file system? So forward slash indicate the home directory. Right? Under the home directory, you may have one directory called as users. Right? Under the users, there are two things. One is a bill and the second one is a thread. Under the thread, we have another one that is called as help. So this is the existing file system. So what you want to attach, you want to attach another file system to this file system, that is called as a file mounting. So where you want to attach? You want to attach it users. Attach here. So when we are attaching here, then automatically what it will be? Then it will be the mount point. Mount point means where you want to attach the file system. So that particular location is called as a mount point. So you want to attach another file system here. So at users. So obviously after attaching, next what you want to attach? Maybe you want to attach this one. So and then Jane, and then under the Jane it has a frog, and the second one is the dog. This one you want to attach under users. So after attaching, how it will be? It will be the home, and the next one is this one is the users. Under the users, earlier it was a bill, Fred, help. So but you are attaching this one there, so automatically the structure will be look like this. Under the users now Sue, and then Jane. Under the Jane, what will be the subdirectories? What are the subdirectories? Frog and dog. If you observe here, earlier under the users we have a bill, Fred. Under the Fred we have help. Now after attaching and after mounting, under the users we have a Sue, Jane, frog, and the dog. So if you want to detach, okay, even you can detach. So if you detach the same, if you detach from this particular play portion, so automatically it will be look like this. Okay, that is the thing. So we can mount or we can unmount. Okay. Mounting means attaching file to the particular location, attaching to the file system. Unmount means detaching from the file system. Okay, everything is okay. For attaching, we go for mounting, and for detaching, we go for the unmounting. So, what is the purpose of attaching actually? So, let me explain you with the help of example. So, usually we have a C folder and you have a D folder, right? So, under the C, what available? Usually softwares are available in C. All the software we stored in the C. So what about DE? So DE, all these are usually used for user programs. So not for the softwares usually. Usually we store all the softwares in the C directory. Likewise, the Turbo C is also available in the Turbo C software. C software is also available in the C directory. Okay, you want to execute the program, you need to execute the program under C colon only. For example, if you want to execute your program using in the D folder, then what you need to do, you need to attach this portion to D file system. Then only you can run the programs under D also. How can we attach? So now we are in the D column. There you want to run the program, C program. But C program software is available in C file system. Then what you need to do? You need to mount. The command is mount and then C colon turbo C. Here you want to attach in the D column. So automatically this particular C turbo C will be attached to your D. So automatically now you can able to run the programs. C programs in the D file system. If you want to unmount, obviously the command is umount. Umount is for unmount the files from file system. What is mount? Mount, unmount or detach. What is mount? Mount is nothing but attach. So attach the files to the file system. Where you will mount. That mount location is called mount point. Okay, mount point. Mount point means location where we attach the files. Unmount means detaching. Mount is for attach. So this is called as a file mounting concept. Okay. So far we completed concepts of files. What are the concepts of files? What is a file? And next, operations on file. And the next one, attributes of a file. And then types of files. And then what is a file? Operations on a file, attributes of, and next file permissions. That is under concepts of files. And the next concept is accessing methods. So under the accessing methods, we have a total 3 things. So what are those? Sequential access, direct access, index access. So these are the 3 methods, accessing methods, file accessing methods. And then you need to talk about what is a directory. Next directory structures. So there are total 4 directory structures. The first one is a single level. single level directory structure. And the next one is a two level directory structure. The third one is tree or hierarchical directory structure. And the fourth one is acyclic graph directory structure. Okay, so these are the concepts. And the next concept is called as file mounting. So these are the four topics we have covered till now. So do you have any doubts? Let me know. Okay, no? I will show you the PPT so that you can stop me at any moment of time so that I will explain you. So the first three things: file concept, access methods, and the directory structure. So what is the objective of file system? And then what are the types of data a file consists of? And next, what is about a file structure and the file attributes: name, identifier, type, location, size, protection, time, date, and user identification. That means name means the name of the file, and it need to be in the human readable form, and identifier is used to uniquely identify the file, and type means what is the content available in the file, the type based upon the content. For example, if it is a document .doc, and if it is a image, it may have a .jpg, and next if it is a audio .mp3, and if it is a animation one, automatically it is a .gif. If it is a picture, bitmap picture, bmp, like that, based upon the content, the type of the file varies. And next, location, where the file is available in the directory. And next, size means what is the size of the file. Protection means read, write, execute permissions we have for every file. And the next, we can protect the file, and we cannot grant the permission to the unauthorized person. We can only give permission to the authorized person. What are the permissions available? Read, write, and execute. And time, date, user identification means when was the file created or when was the file last modified, who is the owner of the file and who is the group owner of the file. All these things are under file attributes. In order to know the file attributes, what is the command? ls minus l. I not required here. So L is for long listing a file. And next, these are the operations. We can create a file, write the contents to a file, read the file, and next read the contents from a file, close the file, open the file, truncate the file, rename the file. And the next one, these are the file types, extensions. And these are the access methods: sequential access, direct access, and the indexed access. This is the last one, index access. And coming to directory, so directory is a collection of files. Observe here the collection of nodes containing information about files. So these are the files here, and these are the directories. So basically the disk is divided into different directories. Here the disk one is divided into two partitions, and the partition A consists of one directory and partition B contains another directory. So only one disk is divided into two partitions here. Here two disks, one partition, two disks, one partition. And the big directory we have all the files, and it is of all the files are maintaining in one directory, and it is occupied by two disks, disk 2 and disk 3. And next, operation performed on directory. We can search a file, we can create a file, we can search for a file, we can delete a file, and next we can rename a file, we can traverse the file system, we can list the directory. All these are the operations on the directory. And next, there are four types of directories: single level directory, two level directory, tree structured directory, and acyclic directory. Okay, each and every one has its own advantages and disadvantages. Single level directory is very simple to organize or maintain, but the problem is naming problem. That means two users should not have the same name for the file name. And next, grouping problem means similar files cannot be grouped into one directory. Why? Because there is only one directory for all the users. So that is the problem with the single level directory. And the two level directory means all the users are having different directories. Here all the users are having only one directory. Here different users are having different directories, and they are maintaining their files in their own directories. So there is no naming problem, but here the problem is grouping problem. And next, one more thing, we can fetch a file in a fast manner when compared to single level directory. If it is a single level directory, it is very difficult for us to search for a single file. You need to go through each and every file for searching. But here, if you want to search for a file of user 3, directly you need to go to the user 3 directory, there you can search. So on the third one is a tree structure. In the case of two level, we cannot group the things. Why? Because there is no subdirectory concept. But in the case of tree structure, so each and every directory has another directory, and another directory has a subdirectory. That directory may have a subdirectories. Like that, there we can maintain any number of directories. One directory can maintain one subdirectory. That subdirectory again maintains another subdirectory. Like that, we can have any number of levels here. But in the case of single level, there is only one directory and it all the files. In the two level directory, first level is a root directory and second level is for user directories. But in the case of tree directory, you can maintain any number of levels. So here there is no naming problem, notation problem. But here the problem is grouping also solved here. So we can group the similar files into files, and we can keep them in under one subdirectory. But what's the problem here? Sharing is not allowed here. So in order to avoid such a problem, we need to go for the acyclic graph directory. So acyclic means there is no cycle here if you observe here. So here the sharing is possible. Sharing, sharing possible. So but in the case of general graph contains loops. So this, if you observe, follow the cursor. Okay, this is the one, general graph directory. And one more thing, file mounting. So file mounting means mounting is nothing but it's a process by using it operating system can make all the files and directories at one place. So how can we keep the files at one place? We can mount the files. We can attach the files into file system by using a mount command. How can we detach the file system? So by using unmount command, that is umount. Umount is a command, concept name is unmounting. Unmounting is nothing but detaching the files from the file system. Okay, I hope you understand the things. If you have any doubts, let me know via the WhatsApp. That's it for today. Thank you.